Hello, my name is Matthew and welcome to Zedcraft Season 3. I've been pretty busy moving things around. So I've chopped down quite a lot of trees, I've been breeding bees, I've moved the creeper farm, I need to do something about the sugarcane farm as well. It was a perfectly serviceable creeper farm, but really just having it lumped in the base here when it didn't consider the overall base design that's starting to emerge, just not a thing that I was really on board with. And I've been doing an awful lot of indoor work in here as well. So we now have this idyllic little valley, there's some farms, it all works a lot better. I'm going to do something up the walls. I haven't decided exactly what yet. Something akin to what I did for this back corner here, but not exactly the same, because I'm going to spread that across the back, but I don't want the whole base to have the same thing. I mean, maybe just the same thing in a different wood, but I'll think of something. But that's not what the purpose of today is. The purpose of today is to deal with the tree farm, because having it all in this valley and in the next valley over just isn't right. It doesn't let me landscape and make this a pleasant place to be. I need to obviously finish up this thing I did right at the start of the season, but I want to make this all a really nice place to be, and having a tree farm is just not great, and it's a really constrained space as well. So what I'm going to do is expand outwards a little bit. I've lost the tunnel, there's the tunnel, just follow the path. I've got some pathways out in this direction, and they go over an island that's pretty barren. And so I want to, here we go. So we've got this bridge here and then this island, and I want to turn this island into the tree farm. So let's go have a quick fly and have a look from the air. So I've got an idea for how to do this, and it's sort of inspired by that bit of land there. So you can see it's pretty square on the side there. And so what I want to do is terraform this island into a series of large cubes, and each cube is going to be responsible for a different kind of wood. So they'll be made at least partially out of that wood, so everything's sort of colour coded. And I think it's going to look pretty cool when it's all covered in trees, and there'll be lighting patterns and all sorts of things. So really I'd better get on with it. And I think the first thing to do is just to take the thing that's most like a cube currently and make it into actually a cube, which means shaving all this off and figuring out sizing as well. I'm going to have to build some stuff out also. I've got masses and masses of stone from the excavation of the mountain over there though, so that's not going to be a problem. So without further ado, I'm just going to get straight on with it, and I'll check back in when there's more of it done. So there's the first side of the first cube, and I'm fairly happy with the proportions there. I mean, it's all a bit bleak at the moment, but it will improve. So I need to count that and then start going that way, and that means all this hill's going to have to go. But we can manage. I'll move a beacon if I have to. Best get on with it really. How big is this cube? I really hate counting blocks. I suppose I could measure and do the maths, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Well, at least it's an odd number, which should help with any decoration I fancy doing. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 24, I think that makes a 25 across, which is great. And then do 2 more edges, and it will really show the size of this. So it's 1, 2, 3. Have I run out of stone already? Wow. Good thing I've got lots. Okay, so that's the top. Build the sides, start carving, and we'll start getting somewhere. Now, I really don't think they're going to be perfect cubes. Not once I've started decorating them and things, but the idea is cubes. So that like the fundamental structure of this island is going to become a series of overlapping, intertwined, interconnected cubes. And I think that might be pretty cool. It's a bit sort of Borg architecture, I suppose, but we won't be assimilating everybody. Yeah, this is why I'm going to get through a lot of stone. That was a whole stack just there. Good thing I have like literally 20 double chests of the stuff. Probably more now actually. So that's why it's nice to do a big fan. And what I'm going to do is really try and light up properly around here, because I'm not going to fill this in. I'm not going to dig it out. It's just a waste of effort. But obviously I don't want to start an accidental mob farm in here. So just light it all up. You're going to have to go. Sorry, chicken. Don't know why I'm filling that in. That doesn't need to be done. Just put some stone across the top. So the first cube is shaped. I need to think about where the next one's going to go now and what size it should be. What does the terrain suggest we could do? I need to go and look from a different angle. Yes, I am planning on building a tower up here. I'm no good at building towers. I don't know what to do with that. Now obviously that is a cube in waiting. Quite a large one, I think. And there's one there. And there's one sort of all of that bit. Okay. I need to go down here, I think, and straighten out all of this part and make this into a cube. The corner of which will be right where I'm standing, actually. Up to here, I think, and then maybe it's going to come higher. Or maybe it'll be carving. Oh, it's really hard to know what to do, because it's not the kind of thing you can really try out very easily. So we can shave some of this off, start to get a sense for how big this is. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sticking out of there. But actually that's 13. Because it's going to go up to the border of that cube, and that seems right, that it should go to the next cube. So we'll go to there and take all this off and just start making the shape emerge. And then I can go and have a look and see how it looks. Yeah. I am definitely going to soften this off again, but I think I need to make the cube structure really, really obvious so that I can do that without losing it completely. If I try and build soft, sort of fuzzy shaped cubes right from the start, I don't think it's going to work very well. So I'm just going to carry on digging I need to mark out 13 this way, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's the edge. And yeah, more digging, back later. So I've started to get more of the layout done. I was going to give you an update a little bit earlier, but I got distracted. So I've just been starting to carve out some shapes, got some big ones. One thing I'm a little bit cross with myself about is that this cube sits perfectly next to this cube, and they really should kind of overlap a bit, so I'm going to have to take a few blocks off that side and just shunt this all this way. But I've started laying out this massive one here and another cube here to link them together, and then I'm going to put one on the back somewhere. Yeah, it's coming along nicely, so I'm just going to keep on with this and yeah, see how it goes. Okay, so I really like spruce this season, so I'm going to start off with this massive square here and turn it into a giant spruce farm. So the first thing to do is to lay out those little 2x2 squares where I'm going to plant the saplings, and then decide what to do around them. I've done tree farms before where I do wood, but there's a bit of a problem. You get your axe. Oh, I haven't got my axe in my hotbar. You get your axe and you chop at the trunks, and then you destroy the floor as well because the planks mine as quickly as the tree trunks do. So I'm not going to make the floor out of wood. That's going to be decoration around the edges, and I'm going to instead make it out of something else, and I'm not entirely sure yet. I mean, spruce trees do spread podzol. There needs to be some delineation between where you put the saplings and what goes in between them. So I think it's probably going to be some kind of stone, I think, or maybe concrete or terracotta. That could be quite exciting. Could do some good coloured patterns and things. So I'm still going to have a think about that, but I'm just going to get the layout out and actually just plant some trees, because having them growing is going to be really helpful for visualising the whole thing anyway. Well, there's no denying it. The trees seem to quite like this place, although I do note that they're going to obstruct each other when they've got big leaves like that, but I think that's okay. And is there a skeleton down here trying to kill me? Do you know that's rude? There we go, that's better. So yeah, getting there, and I've already made a significant dent in the number of saplings I brought out, but I think that's okay. Okay, that's starting to look really cool. Need to get some other trees up on one of the others now and start to see how that's all going to fit together. Lighting is temporary, absolutely temporary, but you've got to get some torches in there just to stop the mobs spawning to start with. So onward with that, let those spruce trees grow and see how it all comes together. Next tree, I think I'm going to put right up on the top here, and that'll be jungle trees, because they're also really tall, and I quite like the idea of making this have some serious height to it. So here we are, the first two tree platforms are in. We've got the beautiful tall jungle trees, although very messy with their vines. We've got a load of spruce trees as well, and I'm really happy with how this is starting to pan out. So I think the next important thing to do is some of the decoration, because I do want to soften these cubes up a bit, and I would like to make it just not be stone, and to indicate which wood you'll get from each place. And however, jungle logs are pretty ugly, so I'm going to start off with planks. And the idea I've got is basically a kind of edging that goes sort of here, and it's going to kind of dribble over the sides. So like, say you are icing a cake and you wanted to have some hanging over the edge. Might be a little bit like that. Let's go see what that looks like from down here. yeah, you see what we're doing is breaking up these lines. I'm going to need some scaffolding. So we can get up here and just kind of draw a shape and then fill it in. Yes. Get up here. Do a 2 there and a there. It's kind of random, really. It's much the same technique actually I was using to build the cliff inside my base, except I'm going to go through and add more detail to this by way of many of the other blocks that are available here. So just using this sort of corner as a prototype. Ooh, stray jungle saplings there, they're quite valuable. So that's a start. It's all a bit kind of gradienty that way, so I might want to mess that up a bit. But the next thing to do is get myself a crafting table and make some fences. So I've got a load of sticks and maybe some stairs as well. And so we can get fences and we can do things like that. And we can do things like, can we, if we put one in, is that going to look, I think if they connect they look a little bit too much like fences. So maybe just sticking out the bottom on some of these dangly bits, not out the side. There we go. And oh, it's getting dark. That's not my torches. Where are my torches? Here are my torches. I really should light this area up more. Yeah, it's about just detail really. Accessing a few more shapes that are available to us in this very blocky world that we have in Minecraft. So we could put some stairs. Maybe we put some stairs there. And maybe there, that way. And maybe there's another one in there. Not that way up. Placing blocks while jumping is poor strategy. Use the scaffolding. That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. And that just opens it up a little bit. Adds that little bit of extra intricacy. That's a really nice thing to have. So there we go. One there. One there. And I think yeah. So that bit is a little bit samey. So maybe that needs some texturing as well. And I definitely picked up this idea that you can add texture to things by just throwing random stair blocks in, because it makes that little indentation. And it's a shame you can't do vertical ones, but you can put them sideways and all kinds of things like that. That does indeed break it up a little bit, perhaps even there. Ooh. Just thinking I'm going to fall off the scaffolding forwards and then I fall off it backwards. Pop that there. Oh, hi Mr. Skeleton. You come to look at my build, or have you come to be annoying? Guess. Okay. Yeah. So that's the general idea. I think I prefer that hole to that hole. And I think, yeah, this is going to be a fun thing to be getting along with. Might take a while though. So really, I should just get on with that and stop nattering about it. Yes, that's definitely better. Onward! So I decided that going around all the sides was probably as bad as just leaving all the sides unadorned. So I might have to take some of that off. But in the meantime, I'm fairly happy with that. It says jungle logs, it says jungle wood. The end here, this isn't quite right. Maybe if I just pop a stair on there, that'll help. And I think over here as well as a, yeah, do that. And see what that looks like. Yeah. So how to sort of handle the interfacing is another matter. And then I think muddle up the stone a bit, put some stone brick, andesite, etc. in there. But I think that's a really good base to start with. It can do something similar on the spruce there. Maybe dig that out a bit, give us some of the vertical space. And it's going to start looking really promising. So with that, I think I'm going to leave it at that. That's all for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and do join me again back on Zedcraft. Goodbye.